Hi, Sam. How are you today?
Oh, I'm good. How are you, Dr. Boris?
I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. Do you want to step in my office?
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. All right. Have a seat. How's the weather?
It's starting to cool down a little bit, getting a little chilly, starting to feel that fall crisp air. So I'm happy for the change.
Very cool. Very cool. Do you want anything to drink before we get started?
I think I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
Okay. I just want to go over confidentiality with you again, just like we talked about every time. I won't say anything. Nothing leaves this room unless it causes harm to you, someone else, or the elderly abuse or anything like that that we would need to report. Does that make sense still? Do you have any questions about that?
I don't think so.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll just dive right in. All right, so last time we talked about procrastination. You mentioned being stressed about grad school, emotions, things of that nature. So let me ask you first, how's your week going so far?
It's been a little rough this week. I don't know. I feel like off. I don't
Hmm.
know if it's just the pressure of everything I got going on. It's also the beginning of the school year with a lot of germs and a lot of illnesses. So I don't know if maybe my body's fighting something. I don't know. I've just been in a really like crummy mood. I'm extremely exhausted, more irritable than normal, um, having a hard time just really making it through the day. I'm
Okay.
feeling wanting to cry, honestly. So
Aw,
I don't
yeah.
know. Don't know what's going on.
Well, the weather change does affect some people. So that could be happening. Like you said, there's a lot of germs at school. I'm sure kids all day with your teaching job. I'm sure that's a lot. Germs and kids not covering their mouths because they don't know sometimes. So that could be affecting you. Also, allergies are in the air too, as always. So that could also be something else going on. So
Yep.
maybe it's just one of those weeks, day by day, one day at a time. That's the best thing to do. It sounds like you made it through though, so that's the most important part, keeping your
So far,
positive
so
attitude. Yes. Yes, that's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. And it's almost Friday, so you can just look at it that way, one day at a time.
That's it, one day at a time. That's pretty much, honestly, I think I had that conversation with somebody else today about how I just feel like there's so much going on constantly, but the only thing I can really do is just focus one day at a time. I literally think I had that conversation earlier today, so it's kind of nice to validate that thought process, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Is there anything else going on that you're conflicted about right now or anything like that that you wanted to talk about today?
Um, I mean, I'm struggling at work a little bit. I think I might have hit on this a little bit. I'm in a long-term substitute position this year.
Yes.
I'm currently in a second grade classroom, and on October 18th, I am supposed to leave my classroom and go take another leave for third grade for a lady who's going on maternity leave. I'm really struggling right now because one, I built like a little family and a community with my second graders, and then I'm
Oh.
gonna have to leave them to
Oh.
go to third grade and kind of start over again, which is okay because I mean that's what I signed up for. I knew that was happening.
Mhm.
Where I'm conflicted is the girl that I'm covering for in second grade. She has a diagnosis. Um, they don't know what's going on with her right now.
Oh, wow.
Um, so I don't know if she's returning this school year, and if she is, when. So I'm struggling with, okay, but what if she doesn't come back this school year? And then I'm leaving my second grade kids for no reason. Um,
Wow.
or what if I don't take the position to go to third grade and then she comes back in a couple weeks, then I'm out of a job for the rest of the school year. So I'm just like in a really like funky place that I don't feel like I know where I belong, and I don't know my place, and I just need a definitive plan. Like, yes, she's coming back. She's gonna be back this day. You're moving to third grade this day. But she hasn't communicated if she's coming back, when she's coming back. I don't know how unions work with schools, because this is my first time with a union and I'm actually not a part of it because I'm a long-time sub. So I don't know.
Mhm.
Tell her like you have to tell us yes you're coming back or no you're not. You can't like push your date back. It's like all in or nothing. So I'm kind of in limbo right now with that. Communication
Okay.
isn't clear. So I don't know. I just feel like I can't settle and be comfortable at work, and that's where I spend a lot of my time. So I just feel like I'm unsettled constantly.
Yeah, definitely. That's a lot going on, and maybe there's just no determined day for her yet. She probably has a lot going on and can't really say when she's coming back, depending on the situation. So
Right.
I hope for your sake you don't have to leave your second graders for, no good reason there, but I'm sure they'll miss you. I'm sure you definitely made an impression. It seems like you love your students and, vice versa there. You enjoy your time with them. That's great. But if you think about it this way, the third graders will probably benefit from your teachings too. So they'll definitely, be impacted by you as well. And I'm sure you'll be saying the same thing at the end of the day, like, oh, I love the third graders. It's just one of
Yeah.
those things. But it
Yeah.
sounds like you're helping a lot of kids. It sounds like you enjoy your job. I know we talked about stress before in the job, but I understand if you know all that's going on in the same place, it's hard to really say I'm not gonna be stressed today because you know something's gonna happen where you're gonna get a little stressed.
Every day you never know what's
Yeah,
gonna happen, and just
right.
working with kids, you just don't know what's gonna happen, and a kid got hurt on the playground the other day and she was running around perfectly fine in my classroom, totally normal, nothing was wrong. And then she went home with a limp and told her mom I didn't let her go get ice. I'm like, but she wasn't hurt. I checked her. She was running around the classroom. So it's just like
Yeah,
sometimes you always have to worry, like, okay, what are these kids going home and telling their parents? Like, there's just
right.
whatever story type thing. So
Mhm.
I always have that stress of like, oh my gosh, I have to check my emails today. What fresh hell am I going to have in my emails today? It's always usually good. And I think I just get
Yeah,
myself up. I'm pretty good at my job and I'm really good with my kids, but
yeah.
you just never know. Something could get taken out of context or that, they get this big of a story from their kiddo. And,
Mhm.
I was just like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm always walking on eggshells. I love teaching, but then some days I'm just like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, gotcha. Well, you got a stressful job in itself. There's a lot going on right now. Like I said, you got a lot going on at work. Have you thought about if worse comes to worse and you do end up leaving the second graders, what your plan going into the third grade classroom will be? Are you thinking about that like as something that you're going to look forward to, or have we talked about anything that would help you prepare for that?
Um, honestly, I'm dreading it at the moment, and
Okay.
I'm probably just getting myself worked up for nothing because that's typically what I do. I work myself up, and then I get into whatever it is I'm doing, and then it just comes naturally, and things are fine once I get settled in. But the difference is right now my second grade class there's 21 kiddos. I have the same
Mhm.
21 kiddos every single day. We have the same
Okay.
routine, same structure, blah 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 blah. My third grade, we're departmentalized. So that means
Oh.
I'm going to be switching between three different classes. So I'm going from 21 kiddos to 75 plus kiddos a day.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
there's
Okay.
some major
Gotcha.
behavior issues in the third grade as well. So um, not super looking forward to it. And again, I'm kind of comfortable in my second grade class now, and I really don't want to make that change. But at the end of the day, I knew what I signed up for. It sucks. I'm used to being in my own classroom. I've always been um, my own, in my own room with my own
Yeah.
class. And
Yeah.
so these
You
last 2 years
mentioned that.
of not being in my own classroom has been a little difficult, but
Mhm.
same token, it's also kind of reinvigorated education for me. But now I feel like was it just a short-term temporary band-aid feeling and now I'm kind of back to like, oh, am I really supposed to be doing this right now? I don't really know.
So it sounds like to me switching to the 3rd grade will be a little more stressful with all the kiddos, and you would rather stay in the 2nd grade if possible, or at least for as long as possible. But then there's the factor too of if you ever just get your own room, you
Yeah.
can do whatever you want, which would be
Yeah.
great for you. So it sounds like maybe that's a long-term goal, getting your own class and kind of just doing the same routine every day, not really having a strict schedule with, filling in for somebody, kind of having your own feel on that?
Yeah, that's my ultimate goal. The whole reason why I took the sub position, and then I'm pretty much letting them, I don't want to say take advantage of me because it's not really what they're doing.
Right.
So kind of just like being their placeholder everywhere. And I made it clear that the whole reason why I'm doing this, and I could have went and found a teaching job this summer, and I could have had my own
Yeah.
classroom. I could have done my own thing, but I'm
Mhm.
choosing to kind of just put myself out there and show this district, like I'm willing to put in the work for this district, in hopes that something permanent will open up. But it doesn't really sound like anything permanent is going to be opening up because everyone's happy in that district and no one's really
Okay.
retirement age. So then I also feel like I am putting myself through hell, honestly, for nothing. It's not going to pay off. I'm gonna be in the same
Ah,
position again next year, or I'm gonna be looking for a new job. So and like as a sub, I don't get paid for days off. So we just had Labor Day
okay.
and we had a bomb threat. So we had school closed because of a bomb threat. We had school
Mhm.
closed because of Labor Day. So then that's like 500 something dollars on my paycheck. So it's just like then that adds financial pressure and stress to me too. So I don't know, Dr. Boris. I just don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot too, the bomb threat, yeah, that's scary in itself, and then, financial pressure on you in addition to stress at work would definitely be a lot, so I understand that's a lot to deal with. I'm so sorry you're going through that. Um, I definitely, would think of that as a long-term goal, though, gain your own room, that would be really awesome for you. In the meantime, just like I said, one day at a time, we can prepare you for switching rooms if that happens. We can also work on preparing you for staying if that happens in the 2nd grade. And in the meantime, you can search for other jobs or you can continue to hope something opens up. There's always a chance somebody's going to leave, there's always a chance someone's going to retire. So think of it that way that it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to get the position. It's just like about the timing. When
Right.
the
Yeah.
timing's right, you'll get the position where you need to be. So that's
Yeah. I'm
kinda what
just
I would think of it as.
impatient. That's all. I need to work on my patience.
Yeah, it's hard to be patient, I understand, especially jobs and stuff like that, it definitely would be hard to be patient, so I'm so sorry you're going through that, but I definitely think you're doing a great job managing your stress with the level of stress you are in. I'm sure that's hard throughout the day with all these kids, but I definitely think at the end of the day, as long as you're where you need to be and we can set our goals on that and being happy at work, being where you think you're being the most helpful to your students, whether that be 2nd grade or 3rd grade, that's definitely that what counts at the end of the day, making a difference. So think about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'll try.
Mm, okay. So, in the meantime, I think it would be good if you could just maybe prepare either way, make a list of what you're going to do in 3rd grade. If that happens, make a list of what you're going to do in 2nd grade if you stay there. And then also think about, like we already talked about, long-term goals with if I got my own room, what would I do?
Mhm.
If I stay here, what would I do? If I go somewhere else, what would I do? So I would just think about it that way, just kind of make some lists, and we can talk about that in our next session if you would like.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, that sounds
Cool.
good. Is there anything else you want to talk about today? Anything else that we didn't touch on?
I don't think so. I think I'm okay.
Okay, I hope that helps ease your mind a little bit with what's going on at work. I hope your days get a little better for you, but we are going to have days where unfortunately some days are a little worse than others. So I just want you to know the one day at a time thing is my rule. So very important to remember.
Yeah, definitely that, and it just helps to have someone neutral to kind of listen to my concerns. So I appreciate that too.
Absolutely. I'm here anytime to listen. You just give us a call in the meantime and then we'll book your next appointment up front, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, that sounds good. Thanks, Sam. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.